Hello there, welcome to a new episode of The Power of Surrender with Hugh, where every day I'm picking cards from you from the Power of Surrender deck by Dr Judith Orloff. And I'm choosing this deck for a very specific reason because it's all about themes that I think are going to help us through a very challenging time on our planet right now. And whether you're dealing with directly with COVID and everything, the lockdown related to that, I know it's different in different places around the world, or whether you're dealing with the political upheaval that's happening as well, this is a perfect show for you. So today we have a card that I hope is going to inspire you and give you some food for thought. And this is Surrender to Creativity. Very beautiful card. And let me read you what it says here. Some fantastic words of wisdom on here. And it says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. And you see in the picture here, she's holding up the mirror. It's very interesting, isn't it? What's happening there on the card. And I mean, the first thing it says is let your creativity, your imagination soar. And this is the thing about being creative at this time. As I've talked about in many of the other cards, it's so easy to get sucked into the negativity that's on the news all the time. And obviously at some point we do want to know what's going on, but at the same time, if you get sucked into that negativity, it's hard to be creative because you're like, well, what's the point in doing anything because everything is so messed up. Whereas creativity is letting your imagination soar, is letting your going into your mind and thinking about, okay, what are the things that I can do now? There are so many people who've started different online businesses now in this situation because they're like, well, I have to do something different because the world has changed and I have to change with it. Part of the reason why I'm doing these videos here is because obviously I want to do something to help people out there who are struggling with anxiety and the stress of this very unique situation we're going through. So what has happened has inspired me to go and do that, inspired other people to do other things as well. So that's what this is talking about. It's talking about first and foremost to, as it says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So it's very important about staying open. Because if you go, oh, I can't do this because we're having lockdown, or can't do this because of that. When you're online, you have a direct route to your customers. You don't have to have a shop to be able to sell your product or whatever it is that you're doing. That's one of the wonderful things about right now is because the internet is open there for all of us, and it's an opportunity waiting for those who want to try and use their imagination. Go, okay, how can I make this work for me? And what's so important here is because what it's saying is whether creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So it could be, I need to make some extra money. It could be, okay, I'm using my own self as an example, but at the moment, obviously, acting, there are some projects going and it is starting to get back going. I hope that continues. That's wonderful. But one has to be creative and think about what am I going to do now in regard to acting or playing music or whatever it is that you do. And so we have to try and think about things in a different way. And that's what this is talking about. Again, we're coming back to this very common theme with these cards, which is the theme of perspective. And trying to step back away from the negativity and try and think about things in a more positive way. And what's so important, about that is it's because you're talking about having this, what I would call the appreciation mindset. And if once you get into that appreciation mindset where you're like looking at things in a more positive way, things start to flow, ideas start to come, and that's what this card is all about, letting the magic happen by surrendering to creativity. And sometimes the crazy wild ideas you might come up with, you could actually make them work. It's amazing actually when you look at it, how some people are making so much money from some of the things that they do, which is when you look at it, I mean, there's a lot of work to get followers and all that other kind of stuff to happen. But sometimes there are people making money online. You're just sitting there going, they're doing nothing and they're getting paid a lot of money. So, but they've used their imagination and their creativity to make something happen. And of course, there is hard work, as I said, in the background. But that's what's very powerful about this card today. It's just talking about surrendering to your creative abilities. And even whether or not you're creative or artistic or not, you'll find that we all have this little bit of magic within us. And just final thought, it's just when it says, you know, to solve a problem. So often we get stuck in a situation, there doesn't seem to be a solution to it. And whether that's a relationship, or, you know, we've just been talking about, you know, in terms of a career or making money. And people just get stuck. They don't know how to get out of it. They feel like they're stuck in the mud and they don't know what to do. And again, this is where if you can change your perspective to a more positive one, and you'll start to find, like I said, those thoughts and ideas, okay, well, what if we try this? Or what if we try that? And it's being open, as the card says, to try different things that will lead to not only to be able to perhaps make some more money and have a new business, but also to be able to solve any personal issues you may be having or disagreements with somebody. Isn't that such an interesting, beautiful card? I hope you got some inspiration and food for thought from that card this evening. I will be back tomorrow with another episode. And remember, there was also daily cards I do on my Instagram, which is Hugh Readings. On Instagram, Hugh, my first name, and then Readings, Readings, all one word, Hugh Readings. At Instagram, free every day. I do daily cards there for your inspiration as well, so go check that out as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you enjoy the content here, and I will see you tomorrow.